A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 8th day of January 2026. We do welcome you into our space here in Nile Avenue. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. Now, before we get into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. And in our top stories tonight, EC commences dispatch of polling materials, promises timely delivery on polling day. U.S. visa bond program sends shockwaves through Uganda and 38 other affected countries. Prime Minister probes multi-billion shilling irrigation project in Pakwach. And a court dismisses Nakwa West petition. Senyonyi, others stay in parliamentary race. Good evening once again. In our top story this evening, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has reiterated that no one will, under his watch, disrupt the prevailing peace and stability in the country. Museveni issued the warning while campaigning in Lira City on Thursday evening. The rally also provided the president with an opportunity to respond to political attacks from the Uganda People's Congress parliamentary candidate for Lira City, who is also the Gender and Labour Minister, Betty Amongi, contesting against the NRM's Jen Ruth Acheng. We have the details.
Having skipped Lira district and city in October 2025 due to unavoidable circumstances, the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni returned to the area on Thursday evening as part of his ongoing campaign trail. At a campaign rally held at Lira City Golf Course grounds, Museveni received a historic welcome from residents. The golf course grounds were filled with NRM supporters drawn from both Lira District and Lira City.
I warmly welcome you home, Your Excellency.
Health Minister Jen Ruth Acheng, the NRM Vice Chairperson for Northern Uganda Hamson Obua, and the Speaker of Parliament Anton Tamong were at the center of coordinating the Lira City rally.
And I wish to prophesy that in the performance of the national resistance movement under your leadership, from 1996 to date, I can state that the 2026 general elections will be your best performance in Lira City, Lira District, and Lango Sub-region.
I want to request you, Your Excellency, that you request your daughter Mongi to leave Dr. Cheng in Lira City. Because when you appointed her as a minister, the same facilities that she gets as a minister under your government, you are the same facilities that are used to fight your people in your NRM government.
In her address, Speaker Anita Ntamong directed her remarks at the Gender and Labour Minister Betty Amongi, who is facing off with Health Minister Jen Ruth Acheng for Lira City parliamentary seat.
Your Excellency,
President, where?
as a party, we are not going to allow this. And if we give you a responsibility, you should not use it to come and fight us in NRM. And Your Excellency, I am speaking as the second national vice chairperson. I know I am your vice, but I must do work for you to get a good party. We cannot continue hobnobbing with the people who do not believe in us. Your Excellency, that patience of yours, maybe enough is enough.
In his address, President Museveni focused on wealth creation, development and peace, vowing that there will be no compromise with anyone seeking to drag Uganda back into its dark past.
So, Kuch means Donglobo. Now, when you hear people want to disturb peace, they are against Donglobo, and we shall not allow them. I really want to kindly advise everybody, nobody should attempt to disturb the Kuch of Uganda. Don't try. So those who are playing around, we will not allow them to disturb the peace of Uganda.
According to the president, excessive politicking remains the biggest threat to Uganda's wealth creation and development agenda.
Some people think politics is just playing the games. Me, I'm in politics to do the work of God and the work of Africa. and the work of the Lakwaras. I don't want our Lakwaras to be slaves. So you should already listen carefully to what we tell you, because we are not politicians looking for that.
On the issues of restocking and compensation, President Museveni assured voters in Langsar region that the process has already been completed, with funds awaiting disbursement.
Where is the money, Omona? Where is this money now? Omona, come.
The money, 80 billion Uganda shillings, is now with the office of the Prime Minister.
Office in Kampala?
Yes, sir.
On the account for restocking?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so the money is now there. But now, the issue was now, they were trying to use the other old list, the other list which had a lot of problems. When they brought it, people said, but this is the list which we were questioning.
As of Thursday, 8th January 2026, President Museveni has campaigned in 156 districts across the country. However, he will return to some districts as he prepares to conclude his campaign trail from Kampala on Tuesday, 13th January 2026. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you, Robert Onyango. The National Resistance Movement leaders in Lira have pledged overwhelming support and victory for the party and its presidential candidate, Yoweri Museveni, in the forthcoming general elections. Leaders at all levels cite peace, unity and development as key reasons for backing the ruling party. They made the remarks on the sidelines of President Museveni's campaign rally in Lira City, where area woman MP Jane Luther Cheng expressed confidence in both the party's victory and her re-election bid.
From heads of diplomatic missions to religious leaders and NRM officials, at national and local levels, one achievement stood out: peace.
We must peacefully elect our leaders. It is our role to guard peace and to live peacefully. And I do pray that we will continue to be peaceful Ugandans.
There is a reason why we need to choose the right decisions between peace and instability. Somebody who has not been in the camp here, more especially the Langi and Acholi, they might not know what peace means.
The prevailing peace, they say, has spurred development, wealth creation, and improved livelihoods that must be safeguarded.
We have national water that is coming from Kachung, 15 billion has been put in that project. We have Rekunye road that is coming through a patch. So there's so much that we have peace.
For us, the biggest pillar that we have here that is allowing us now to move forward with the rest of the country is the peace, security and stability that we have.
NRM party has given us the liberty to form ourselves into groups as we mobilize funds, revolving funds, that is the VSLAs.
Leaders say these gains are reason enough to return the NRM to power.
Our children were not able to go back to school, but when you see the unity of today, I want to say that everybody belongs to NRM for as long as they are voting President Museveni.
And our main focus now is to engage the population here in the production. And that's why we are bringing in so many other programs in this region, as you may know. We are bringing more funds, like the NOSA funds, which we are going to bring in this region. We are going to be restocking. We are going to be introducing and be developing coffee value chains in this region.
We have roads, we have water, we have electricity, we have beautiful hospitals, and more especially, the President's commitment to ensure that we chase away poverty. That one is the greatest.
Acheng, seeking re-election as Lira City Woman Member of Parliament, remains confident of victory despite competition from fellow cabinet member and UPC's Betty Amongi.
The people love me because they know what I have done. People also love humble leaders who tell them the truth. not leaders who go on rhetoric and lies, mudslinging, trying to discredit people. That is old politics that we don't do these days. And so I want to reassure everybody that Achengo Chero will win this race with a very big margin.
People must differentiate before the careerists and those with the mission to serve the people. And in my considered opinion, Dr. Acheng Ruth Ochero Acheng is not a careerist. She's here, she joined politics, she abandoned her profession to serve the people for the sake of a mission which the NRM is advancing in the health sector through her.
On the premise of protecting the gains, we are saying that Dr. Jane Ochengo Chero has proven herself beyond any reasonable doubt that she is capable to steer this city to even much more development.
East or west, north or south, the NRM campaign message remains the same: protecting the gains. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you, Henry Okrut, who is in Lira. The residents of northern Uganda set to receive compensation for their lost cattle in form of cash. The pledge was announced by the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni during his campaign visit to Colette district. We have the details.
The playground of Achulbanya Primary School in Kole District hosted NRM supporters during the belated rally of the party's presidential flag bearer Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. During the campaigns, President Museveni disclosed that his pledge to compensate the people of northern Uganda for the cattle lost during wars will be fulfilled in form of cash as determined by the cabinet.
That's why I missed the rally here. It was that money I had to go and check cabinet.
Enomio enopo beda tieka ni rally pieno dokcheni cabinet mengi yo atut kopmedo kalangi choli kede teso yuba anyena menotio katukede.
When I've been campaigning, the cabinet met and said, now instead of the cows, let's give money.
Chamendung di medeke de campaign re cabinet ongio document cha ya paparacha oteko boni kakamio jo doka bicha beach wekdo mi chente.
I said okay.
Ente ye okosho.
So then the money is now available.
Additionally, in his pledges to the residents of Kole, President Museveni announced that government would undertake the excavation of fish ponds to combat poverty and special funds for unemployed graduates and ghetto youth.
After Kuch, the next contribution is Dong Lobo. Development. Like the road we came on. Like the electricity. The schools you are talking about. The health centers. We don't have time to go into all those. But you can see them with your eyes.
The NRM National Vice Chairperson for Northern, Dennis Hampson Oboa, along with the National Second Vice Chair, female, emphasized that a vote for Museveni is a vote for peace, development, and wealth creation.
Your Excellency, allow me to tell the people of Kole briefly that a vote for President Museveni and the NRM is a vote for ensuring that the center of gravity of the people of Uganda, which is peace, is sustained. A vote for President Museveni and the NRM is a vote for protecting the development that President Museveni has so far brought to Lango.
And the insecurity that was in this region was unbearable. Now we are celebrating the peace and the security in this country.
During the campaigns, the director of Akalo Progressive SS contributed 10 million shillings to support Museveni's campaigns. Tomorrow on Friday, Museveni will meet NRM leaders from West Nile in Arua City and those from the Acholi sub-region in Gulu City. Philip Aguta and Gloria Gwitawinji for UBC News in Kole.
The Alliance for National Transformation presidential candidate, retired General Mugisha Muntu, has traversed Bundubujo and Ntoroko districts, pledging to revive the Cocoa Cooperative Union to transform the livelihoods of the cocoa farmers if elected president.
Alliance for National Transformation presidential candidate, retired Major General Mugisha Muntu, has urged residents of Bundubujo and Ntoroko districts not to vote for NRM again after what he described as the 40 years of unproductive governance. He said that once elected president, he will restore cocoa farmers' cooperatives to strengthen markets and improve livelihoods. Muntu held many rallies in Nyauka and Bundubujo town where he engaged residents and pledged to put people first. Bundubujo is a major cocoa producing district with over 85% of farmers engaged in cocoa farming, but poor prices have negatively impacted their livelihoods. That's one question. In Kalugutu and other areas, General Muntu's campaign focused on fighting corruption and building a transparent government. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
The Forum for Democratic Change presidential candidate, Nathan Nandala Mafabi, says the No Cow, No Vote campaign by opposition candidates in Teso has yielded results, particularly regarding government commitment on cattle compensation in the region. While conducting campaign rallies in Ngora district, Mafabi said government calculations indicate it may not be able to compensate all affected families with cattle as promised, but could instead offer monetary compensation.
FDC, one Uganda, one people.
The FDC presidential candidate, Nathan Nandala Mafabi, continued his campaign rallies across Ngora district in the Teso sub-region. Some opposition leaders in Teso say they are intensifying their campaigns in the region to pressure government on cattle compensation, which they claim has so far benefited only a few selected families. Moses Atan, the FDC candidate for Soroti East Division constituency, says Soroti district received 1 billion shillings which does not equate to the 5 cattle per household earlier promised by government.
That report table clearly indicates that every household should have 5 heads of cattle. And 5 heads of cattle at a rate of 1.5 is 7.5 million. Not the selected few. We are witnessing the implementation of where they have allocated some billions. So Roti City getting some few billions, Kumi district getting some little millions is unfortunate. We want massive implementation and rollout of government programs using taxpayers' money for the benefit of all taxpayers.
He says the people of Teso are still demanding full compensation for their lost cattle. While addressing supporters during a rally in Kobwin sub-county, Ngora district, Mafabi said there was a court ruling directing that the people of Teso must be compensated. Mafabi says compensating cattle losses using livestock may not be feasible under government's current plans and calculations, proposing instead that affected families be given money.
Me, I believe people of Teso now need money because let us assume even if we took the 5 cows, there are 1 million families. 1 million times with 5 cows, that is 5 million what? Where do you get a farm with 5 million cows in the country? But you can get money and give them. Now, if you have given him money, I can take to do other things. Maybe trade, maybe build a house.
Mafabi also pledged to revive cotton growing in the region by strengthening markets and adding value to the cash crop.
Cotton. They have been told the cotton has no value, yet cotton has what? Value. Because the government is not there to market for them. We are saying for us, we come with a plan to market the products of agriculture for Ugandans, whichever, whether maize, whether what and what. And we're going to add value to these items with small industries. You cannot build a huge factory.
He later held another campaign rally in Ngora Town Council. Mafabi is expected to continue his campaign trail in Mbale district on Friday.
The Electoral Commission has commenced the dispatch of polling materials to various districts ahead of next week's presidential and parliamentary elections. While flagging off the first consignment, the chairperson of the Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, assured stakeholders of a timely and well-organized electoral exercise on polling day.
The Electoral Commission has dispatched election material that include ballot papers, ballot boxes, voters' registers, biometric voter verification machines, and other election-related stationery. The chairperson of the Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, flagged off the first consignment, destined for 12 districts, and assured the public of the safety and security of the materials.
As we continue with the process of packing and dispatching what is ready, so that we ensure there is timely delivery of the polling kit or the polling materials in the districts, such that by the time we come to 15th, every district has the required number of kits ready for dispatch to the respective polling stations in those electoral districts.
Out of the country's 146 districts and 50,739 polling stations, the Commission says polling materials for 50 districts have already been organized and are ready for dispatch.
We commenced on packing of non-generic materials. These are materials which are customized to polling stations. Each polling station has materials which are different from the other. And this type of packing is so critical and meticulous that any slight mistake, it means different materials will go to a different polling station, and there will be no voting at that polling station.
The Commission has reiterated its commitment for completing all preparations in time and pledged that there will be no delays on polling day.
So that on polling day, the materials are adequately and promptly dispatched or delivered at the respective polling stations to enable polling to start within the prescribed time, that is 7 a.m.
Polling is scheduled on 15th of January 2026. However, the Commission is still handling petitions arising from the nomination process, which may affect voting arrangements, with expectations of further adjustments.
Even though that person may be there because the printing had taken place by the time the decision was made, measures will be put in place to inform or to notify the voters that that person who is on the ballot paper, because of other issues or legal issues, the person is no longer a candidate, although he or she is on the ballot paper. But
other concerns include voter sensitization on the use of biometric machines, which the Commission says are intended to enhance transparency in the election process.
Each ballot paper will be scanned again with this machine. Be scanned. Any ballot paper which is not identified or recognized or confirmed by this scan or by this machine will be put aside. So those of you who want to go and ballot stuff, Zibasanz, because this machine will identify ballot papers which have not been properly issued to the legitimate voter.
The delivery of polling materials is expected to be completed by the 10th of this month. Parliamentary candidates seeking copies of the voters' register have been urged to meet the required fees to access them. Abdu Nasiri Lobwama for UBC.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has directed the Prime Minister Robinah Nabbanja to investigate a multi-billion shilling irrigation project in Pakwach district, where government invested over 64 billion shillings, but which has reportedly failed to achieve its intended objective of poverty alleviation since its inception in 2018.
94-year-old Muzei Faustin Chinyai is the eldest clan member of the Pateni community in Pakwach district. Chinyai is a retired magistrate in Uganda and a brainchild of the Wadilai irrigation scheme project in Pakwach district.
His Excellency, the President of Uganda, came for the first time in the history of our country to visit Wadilai. And that was the day when he received me, Chinyai Faustino, a member of the NRA.
When government conceived the project in 2018, a lot has been registered. However, the irrigation project intended to benefit over 2,000 farmers has not created impact the president intended it to bring to poor communities in Wadilai in Pakwach district. The Prime Minister Robinah Nabbanja today spent part of the day inspecting the project, following President Museveni's directive to make sure that there is value for money in the 64 billion shillings injected in the irrigation scheme.
On his directive, he directed sometime back in October that I come back here and follow up on this project and make sure that it is delivered to the people and fulfill the intended purpose. Because you realize that we got money from African Development Bank.
However, the local leaders in Pakwach district informed the Prime Minister of the several challenges experienced, ranging from the contractor who failed to complete the construction works, causing flooding into the farmers' gardens.
The contractor does not listen to the district, and for us, when we recommend to the line ministry manning the project, we are not taken seriously. Poor coordination and whatsoever. The issue of the contractor, we battled with it. There were heaps of blame on district, but we were rendered powerless.
Most of these issues have come up also in our site inspections before we got the new contractor on board. We agreed on the scope, and the bulk of the scope is to address the challenges in the command area. As we can see, we can get water now from the other large structure.
Now, must it take the president to come for a public rally for you to get to know these challenges?
And it was really very difficult for our local farmers to do leveling using hand hoe. That is the reason why it is taking long for the farmers to embrace it completely.
The flooding. Right Honorable Prime Minister, I'm delighted that you took on the assignment that the President delegated you to do on his behalf to supervise this multi-billion project that has otherwise not realized the full objectives why government has injected this loan money.
Despite the challenges, some of the farmers said they have registered progress out of the project.
Then, weekly I harvest twice. Each time when we harvest, at least I harvest a minimum of 6 bags of African eggplant, and each bag costs around 80,000 when they come and buy. So it means in a week at least I can raise around 1,020,000, and I am able to pay my children at school. And personally, when I joined the scheme and I started producing, I had to go and upgrade because I am a teacher by profession. Though I was getting a lot of challenges, I had to go and upgrade at the Uganda Matters University for Bachelor of Science in Agriculture.
The success stories, I'm also here, I need to register that I'm paying 3 children. I paid one in Seta High, he has now joined me in university.
The Prime Minister advised the farmers to utilize the irrigation scheme by growing high-value crops in order to realize the intended benefit of the project.
But if you are using this irrigation scheme, you need to go for high-value crops, like our teacher is doing. By the way, green pepper is another crop that can make you rich in just a short period of time. Green pepper.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we'll return with more stories after these messages.
The program has met our expectations in that it has been able to give us business.
They gave us a contract where we did a renovation at their head office. MTN trained us in their procurement process and also the IT technology.
I was struggling with managing the finances of the company. So when I went for that training, I was able to improve in financial literacy and management.
Are you a female entrepreneur looking to do business with MTN? Log on to www.mtn.co.ug/AWE. Together, our progress is unstoppable.
Kabogozi, where are you coming from? From NSSF. NSSF? You traveled all the way from Namaguni to get NSSF services. Lekanawe. You walk on the era. NSSF is now everywhere. Come on, I show you. You can register for NSSF. How come you pretend you see my life? Now over deep down in the Marara. Make NSSF payment fee. Now hala okubekarangala. NSSF sure is not far. But tomorrow kuhika gochido. Enjoy NSSF from where you are.
Access NSSF services right where you live. With over 20,000 quick teller agents across Uganda, now you can conveniently register yourself, make NSSF payments and contributions to your Smart Life account, Jubira. NSSF, a better life.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
Blue Christmas is near. Spread the festive cheer all December with great deals right here. Shop online with Market by Momo. We deliver. Log on to market.momo.africa, use the MyMTN app or the new Momo app to register and shop online. Market by Momo is from MTN and powered by MasterCard.
Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, shaping the future of steel in East Africa and beyond. With an investment of over $100 million and a production capacity of 300,000 metric tons per annum, Unisteel is setting new standards in steel manufacturing. At our state-of-art facility, we produce TMX rebars, branded Unis TMX 500 CWR, and high-quality wire rods using only imported virgin steel billets. Every batch is tested and tracked for unmatched quality assurance. Our steel powers the region's most ambitious projects, from dams, skyscrapers, to bridges and beyond. Unisteel, superior quality, trustworthy choice.
The Ministry of Works and Transport, in collaboration with the Uganda Police Force, is rolling out the mandatory motor vehicle inspection services as one of the interventions to improve road safety, protect the environment, and safeguard the health and well-being of the public. The key items for inspection are the braking system, suspension system, the lighting system, the exhaust emissions, and the general mechanical conditions of the vehicles, among others. The exercise has commenced for all government vehicles, public service vehicles PSVs operating on fixed routes with route charts, private omnibuses PMOs, tourist vehicles, and those as may be referred by the Uganda Police Force in a dangerous mechanical condition. Other categories including private vehicles, light omnibuses, taxis, trucks and motorcycles will begin on a date to be communicated by the Minister of Works and Transport. The vehicle inspection centers are Kawanda on Bombo Road and Namamve on Jinja Road for motorcycles, light and heavy vehicles, Nabingo on Masaka Road and Namulanda on Entebbe Road for motorcycles and light vehicles. Mbale, Gulu and Bara inspection centers are for all categories of vehicles. The inspection fees have been significantly reduced to ensure compliance. Get your vehicles ready for inspection. Safer vehicles, safer road users, safer journeys. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Welcome back from that break. We're glad you're still with us here in UBC News Tonight. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. In more stories this evening, the United States of America has expanded the list of countries whose citizens will be required to post refundable bonds of up to $15,000 while applying for the B1, B2 visitor visas, in addition to undergoing an already rigorous vetting process. The move, announced under a pilot program, has raised concern across the globe.
Uganda is among the 38 countries whose citizens will now be required to dig deeper into their pockets for a chance to travel to the United States under the new U.S. visa bond pilot program.
So they have said this is going to apply to the B1 and B2 visas. People getting other kinds of visas are not part of the requirement of the bonds.
Yes.
Now, and a lot of people who are doing government work would still go and do their business. A lot of people who are going for certain other activities will still do their business.
Athletics, sports,
World Cup, do their business, and they'll be given. The World Cup is coming
in the next couple
and
of
America wants us there.
Of course,
to watch the games. So they will have to create certain windows. But you want to say, where are they coming from? We've seen a changing in dynamics. America, the current Trump government, is really against massive inflows of foreigners. Now, but even within the Americans themselves, they don't agree. Because some of them know it is the foreigners who build our economy. And Uganda has been very hospitable.
Any citizens or national traveling to the United States of America on a passport issued by one of the 38 listed countries and who is otherwise eligible for a B1 or B2 visa must post a bond of $5,000, $10,000 or $15,000 refundable upon timely departure from the United States. According to Dr. Fred Muhumuza, the bond is prohibitively high and is likely to act as a major deterrent, especially for ordinary Ugandans.
Those that they are trying to watch. And that's why the power is being given to the migration officer, the visa officer, the consular officer.
Yes.
He's going to be interviewing. He will be looking at you physically.
Vet you.
Studying your face expressions, trying to see, are you worried, are you scared, are you...
How are you responding to
this degree, who is going to be paying for you? Then we check your bank statement. All of a sudden you have 80 million there.
Like how?
I've asked you, what do you do? You have never earned $1 million. Now how do you get the 80 million? All that information will inform the decision.
Of the 5, or
of the
10,
5, the
or
10, the 15, including even a stopping of the visa.
Exactly.
If I haven't forgotten, that is the ultimate.
Yes.
I don't even need your bond. I've denied you the visa.
Completely.
Within the East African community, Burundi and Tanzania are the other countries whose nationals will be affected by the new measure as per the update issued on January 6, 2026.
Countries have a right to do that. Let's also sober up. Let's build our own Uganda in any way. I've been out there, man. Do you know what degrees are in Canada today? People are below 20 degrees. You are like sitting in a fridge.
Yes, actually.
We can't even sit like we are sitting here.
Yes.
So who wants to be there?
No.
Places in Russia go up to minus 57. You can't even drive a car. The oil in the car is frozen. Who wants to be there? I want to believe we can even negotiate this on the lower band.
Yes.
Even say anybody with a government certification, the government of Uganda takes responsibility to bring this person back, because we have screened, we have rated them. So please don't impose these bans. So I expect the government of Uganda to respond by engaging the government of the US over this, so that Ugandans can formally continue to go. Because this should be part of the tenfold growth. It is sale of services.
Dennis Igoa for UBC.
Dr. we're always grateful.
Minister of State for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, has stepped up NRM mobilization efforts in Kasese district, engaging the Muslim community, former civil servants and students ahead of the January 15th polling day. He was accompanied by the State Minister for Public Service, Mary Mugasa, who urged former civil servants to rally behind the NRM. She also highlighted that government plans are underway to compensate them next financial year, with 5.8 billion shillings earmarked on the budget.
State Minister for Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance Godfrey Kabyanga met Muslim leaders and local officials in Bwera Division, Kasese District as part of the NRM's grassroots mobilization strategy ahead of the January 15th elections. The meeting, held at Mpondo Vocational Secondary School, focused on strengthening local support for the ruling party. Muslim leaders pledged to mobilize their communities in favor of the NRM. A key focus was boosting house-to-house mobilization to increase voter turnout and party visibility at the grassroots. Minister Kabyanga was later joined by the State Minister for Public Service, Mary Mugasa, to meet former civil servants, updating them on government plans for pension and gratuity compensation.
President Museveni was signing it all. Now, Yoleka, I direct the Minister of Public Service to give pension to the chiefs that Omusinga had appointed with the UPC in 1982.
Over 250 beneficiaries are expected to benefit from the 5.8 billion shillings allocation in the next year's budget.
212 have already appeared on the competition list, which declares how much each one of them is supposed to receive.
Some of the records were not there; they were not traceable. So the district is reinventing the wheel. They are now appointing them. They are appointing them afresh, things like that. So it was a very complicated process, and that's why it has taken all this long.
56 people are pending verification. The list is there, but they are not yet. Computation is up to Zikakozereki. It was an additional list. So we had not budgeted for this money. That means the budget process has started. It started. Now, we have budgeted for it. Esente ziri nkaha omu budget ene itu kugenda koraki okurabyaho. Hati nkusaba mugumisirize emyezi 5 teri nyingi inywe kimurakora mutikingo omwana mwojono tikingo no sirike habokwani wamanyire ebyaitu.
Minister Kabyanga also addressed students at Kasese Polytechnic, urging them to lead disciplined and purposeful lives while encouraging them to support the NRM.
Me, I just want to inspire you young people. Please take seriously what you are learning, what you are studying here, what they are teaching you. I'm telling you, after me, it is you. Nerio ngataka to say has that thinking. Now you who are young, let us focus on our future and let us find our purpose. Nuko mundu buzira katutebereria atutwende mu abendu ebite tuhimba.
Muslims in Kampala have joined other voices to preach peace as Uganda prepares for general elections next week. During special prayers in Lubaga, the Muslims emphasized the need for peace during and after elections, citing examples of countries that ended up in turmoil. They also used the same platform to applaud government for the different social economic achievements registered in the last 40 years.
Special prayers by the Muslim community have been held in Kabusu-Lubaga division to dedicate the country in the hands of Allah as the general election comes closer. According to the different clerics that preached, Islam is a faith of peace and acts of violence such as protests and riots are prohibited.
Olabanga waliwo omutawaana okugenda okujja bimaana waliwo mudaharat okwekalakasa kwonna alqaidu fiha anaaba atudde khairu min alqaim asinga ayimiridde tegeeza nti omuntu olaba okwekalakasa kwonna atudde wakaawo oba mulungi nnyo okusinga afulumye nojja noyimirira mu mulyango gwo.
The sheikhs asked Ugandans to look at countries like Sudan that have ended up in permanent turmoil due to failure to value peace. They also reminded the Muslim fraternity of their own who have lost their lives and others in jail due to protests and unnecessary riots.
Sudan yemu kwensize tubadde twanguyirwa ennyo okusindikayo abayizi baffe okusoma okuva ku ofiisi yaffe etutwala ey'obusiraamu. Waliwo tekikyasoboka ensi bwegwamu obutabanguko ng'abasiraamu ffe tusinga okufiiramu. Essaawa ne bwe twogerera wano namwandu b'obusiraamu bangi weebali wano ne bwe twogerera wano abaana abaalimu okusoma olw'abakitaabwe okubeera mu makomera olw'abakitaabwe okubeera nti battibwa mu bintu ebitategerekeka weebali era obusiraamu bwe bubayamba.
The Muslims also applauded government for its different endeavors, especially poverty alleviation programs such as the Operation Wealth Creation, PDM, Emyoga, plus support to different groups such as the Seven Hills, which has employed many in its venture of cleaning Kampala city.
Yerusalemu banga lyabaddeko ku bizindaalo tayogeraako ku byabufuzi yayogera kitwala bannayuganda wa emirembe pulezidenti we Kaguta Museveni Mungu teyamuyisizaamu buli omu afube okulaba nti abaako ke yeetuusaako. Mukole SACCOs endala zitusobola kutambuliramu mufune ababayamba kuwandiika ebitabo twetereze gavumenti efune weetuyambira.
The chairperson of the NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tanga Odoi, clarified that NRM polling agents will only safeguard votes for the party's presidential candidate, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and not for parliamentary or other NRM candidates. Dr. Tanga urged NRM parliamentary and other candidates to appoint their own polling agents. He made the remarks while addressing the media at the office of the National Chairman in Chambogo.
With just a few days remaining before the 15th January 2026 polls, Dr. Tango Doi emphasized that the NRM party will not provide polling agents for parliamentary candidates at stations nationwide.
No flag bearer of NRM at parliamentary level, whether you're a minister or you call yourself all the big names as honorables, should push the flag bearer at the agents we are training for the president to protect their vote.
The recruited NRM polling agents currently under training across the country will only safeguard votes for the party chairman, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
We trained 3 agents. The 2 are directly agents, the other is a spare, the alternate, just in case there's a problem with one of the 2.
Meanwhile, the Office of the National Chairman, headed by Hajat Hadija Namyalo, has launched the 2026 Ballot Paper Guide initiative, an educational program aimed at guiding voters on how to correctly cast their votes. In Buwenge, the office, together with NRM flag bearers, led a voter mobilization rally that drew massive party support ahead of the polls. Namyalo and other NRM flag bearers reaffirmed their commitment to economic development and poverty alleviation in Buwenge if the party is put in power, with a focus on improving livelihoods and bringing development to the community. Lydia Chomkama and Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
As Uganda's elections approach, presidential representatives in Masaka and Sembabule districts say the security situation remains stable, even as political campaigns intensify across the regions. They have urged residents not to allow politicians or their supporters to draw them into violence or unrest. We have the details.
Candidates are crisscrossing the country, campaigning vigorously for leadership positions. In Masaka, the contest for the Nyendo Mukungwe parliamentary seat is heating up between Mathias Mpuga Nsamba of the Democratic Front Party, Rachel Nashtende of the NRM, and Javira Lubowa Sabina of the NUP.
Mulonde ne mulonde abakulembeze abanasigala nammwe mu mazima.
Meanwhile, the race for Masaka woman member of parliament pits Juliet Kakande of the DF against Justin Namere of NRM, Rose Nalubowa of NUP, with independent candidate Sauya Nanyonga also in the fray after missing party endorsement. In Chimanya Kabonera constituency, DF's Abed Bwanika, NUP's Patrick Kutesa, and NRM's Robert Asimwe are campaigning actively. Amid the hassle, Masaka presidential representative Ahmadi Washaki confirmed the security remains intact and called on residents to maintain peace and avoid political violence.
1 year ago was an area where people were living in fear, especially when the opposition adopted violent means against supporters of NRM. It was very hard for people to put on a t-shirt in Masaka City or other areas within the region. But with the intervention of security and community members understanding that freedom is for all the people in a given area and freedom to belong to any political party is guaranteed by our laws, we've managed within that period to ensure sanity comes back.
In Sembabule, presidential representative Jen Kagai stressed that the district is prepared to ensure voter security.
We have so far done all the trainings throughout our men who are going to man the elections. All the men are just to maintain peace in the area, Sembabule. I want to call upon people of Sembabule district that the eve of the day, which will be 15th of January, we are very much ready for it. Wake up peacefully and go and cast your vote. I'm very sure we shall not have anyone antagonizing these elections, because we have done so far all the sensitizations across all the districts. We did enough community policing concerning violence, and today we have so far lined 15 boys who tried to disorganize or to antagonize the peace of the people that we have had for the past 40 years in a village called Kakoni in Matete sub-county.
The district includes 4 constituencies: Lwemiyaga, Maogola North, Maogola South and Maogola West, plus the district woman member of parliament seat. Campaigning is intense, with NRM's retired Brigadier General Emmanuel Rashande and former leader Theodore Sachikubo contesting Lwemiyaga. RDC Kagai assured that the district remains calm, with no major disturbances reported.
Government has a right to provide security to every candidate in case you are fearing anything, or in case you are entitled to it, like the sitting MPs. So this is the time. We have gone through these campaigns so peacefully. Why antagonizing elections at the end of that day?
Observers hope that, despite campaign tensions, the elections in Masaka and Zimbabwe will proceed peacefully. I'm Waiva Njuko for UBC.
The High Court Civil Division has upheld the Electoral Commission's decision that Nakawa West constituency is the same as Nakawa Division West constituency, dismissing a petition filed by lawyer and independent candidate Ivan Kakungulu Wowe. Court ruled that although there were errors made by the Electoral Commission during the nomination process, such technical and minor irregularities could not be used to deprive voters of Nakawa of their constitutional right to choose their leaders.
The petition challenged the Electoral Commission's position that Nakawa West constituency and Nakawa Division West constituency refer to the same electoral area. Bowe asked court to quash the Commissioner's ruling, urging that the constituency cited during the nomination did not legally exist. The appeal was, however, objected by the respondents, including the Electoral Commission and 7 nominated candidates for the Nakawa West seat, among them Nasasira Happy, Brora Herbert Anderson, Okuya Felix Ephraim, Okumu Vincent Norbert, Senyonyi Joel Besekezi, Ramit Apul, and Chamba Dewiri Bafos. After reviewing all submissions, Judge Cottins delivered the ruling, basing his decision on Article 126(2)(e) of the Constitution, which requires court to administer substantive justice without undue regard to technicalities. The judge held that justice must be guided by the merits of the case rather than the minor procedural errors. Court agreed with the Electoral Commission that the reference to the Constitution name during nomination was a clerical error that was corrected in accordance with the law. The judge further noted that failure by the candidates to initially indicate the correct constituency was a minor error irregularity curable under the Electoral Commission Act and the Parliamentary Elections Act. The court emphasized that allowing the appeal will unjustly deny voters of Nakawa Division West constituency the opportunity to vote their representatives and would undermine the principles of elective democracy. It held that anyone seeking political office must obtain a mandate through a ballot. Judge Cottins also agreed with the respondents that the names are used interchangeably and refer to the same constituency. He observed that the petitioner accepted to be nominated under the disputed name without raising objections at that time. Court concluded that the clerical errors corrected by the Electoral Commission could not be used to disqualify candidates. The petition was therefore dismissed. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nance Subuga, UBC News.
Now, if we can take a look at how Nakawa Division West constituency participated or performed in the 2021 elections. We see Joel Senyonyi of the National Unity Platform took on the lion's share with a 64% win, where we also did see NRM's Margaret Ziwanantongo coming in with 19% of the vote. Kakande Kenneth Paul came with 6%, and then we had Chambade Wilberforce with 3% of the vote. Now, taking a look at what it looks like in this for this year, 2026, NRM has a replacement of Brora Habert, and then we have PFF with Bowe Ivan, FDC coming in with Chambade Wilberforce trying for a second time, and then we also do have DF with Nasasara Happy, and then UPC Okumu Vincent, and also not forgetting Joel Senyonyi returning, of course, under the NUP ticket, and that's for 2026. Now, if we can also look at the Lira City woman member of parliament seat. Lira City is where the president was today. Take you back to the Lira City woman member of parliament. If we can take a look at the 2021 results, did see Minister of Health Jane Ruth Acheng Ochero taking on the lion's share of 64%, and then UPC followed in second, that is with the team Joy Ongom, and then we had a 1% vote for ANT's Akulo Eunice Anna. And if we can just take a look at the 2026, we see NRM candidate who also is the Minister of Health, Jane Ruth Acheng, taking on the NRM ticket. And then we have an independent as well, that is Acheng Patricia. And then we see newcomer and also fellow minister under the UPC ticket, Betty Amongi. So that we will be giving you more details as the districts, the different districts, and also how it looks like in 2021 and now in 2026. All right, with more stories this evening, candidates contesting in the Nakawa Division West constituency are now racing against time to convince voters following a High Court ruling that cleared the way for elections to proceed. The anxiety follows the dismissal of a petition that had challenged the legal existence of the constituency.
The High Court Civil Division dismissed the petition filed by Ivan Bowe, who was urging that Nakawa Division West constituency was neither legally established nor gazetted at the time of nominations. Presiding Judge Cartons ruled in the favor of the Electoral Commission, agreeing that Nakawa West constituency and Nakawa Division West constituency refer to the same electoral area, and that the names can be used interchangeably. The judge noted that although the Electoral Commission made minor procedural errors during nominations, these technicalities were not sufficient to deny voters their constitutional right to choose their leader. One of the lawyers in the matter, Elias Luimbazi Nalukola, welcomed the ruling.
He was just trying to sneak into the legislature without people's mandate. Therefore, he has only one alternative: to go back and solicit for votes. Should he win democratically, he will be declared the winner.
Nalukola said the petition lacked merit and only served to waste the court's time.
No one would be confused. When you are going to Nakawa West, it does not matter even if somebody says you are going to Nakawa Division West. He had to prove that he had a right which was infringed, and that the respondents were liable. He had nothing like that. The people of Nakawa West, you should worry not.
Meanwhile, Nakawa Division West parliamentary candidate Joel Senyonyi expressed disappointment, saying the case consumed valuable campaign time.
But also, this very petitioner, Ivan, the form which was signed nominating him, it has Nakawa West. And so court was saying, why did you not include this one? Because, so he was really chasing wind. He was on a fishing expedition, and it's very imperative also what court has said. If you are saying you are very powerful, as I've had some politicians say, subject yourself to the people so that you get the mandate of the people. This business of sneaking your way to parliament through a Kamoli, it is unacceptable.
Another candidate, Ramit Apul, was seen moving door to door shortly after the ruling, appealing for votes. Although he welcomed the decision, Ramit said the petition caused losses and left candidates with limited time to campaign.
You go to the field, but then you are told you still have a court case. But as men, as you know, when you are a hard-working person, you don't have to look behind. Now we don't have to look at that. We need to go ahead and look for votes, and I can assure you, we are in the field.
He also called upon voters to support him in the forthcoming general elections.
And we always say this, that the time is now to vote for people who are going to work for you, not for people who are going to speak a lot. It is time to check your leaders, those that have seen what have they done nothing. Now also give opportunity to some of us that are coming through. You have seen us before, you have seen what we can do, and I recommend you, and I still appeal to you Ugandans, do not get excited. Vote for people that have come to you.
Candidates contesting for the seat include Nasasila Happy, Brora Herbert Anderson, Achitengera Felix Ephraim, Ramit Apul, Okumu Vincent Norbert, Joel Senyonyi Basekezi, and Chamba Dewidi Bafos, Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nance Subuga, UBC News.
And into sports, Uganda's finest athletes were celebrated for their exceptional achievements at the Fortbet Real Star Monthly Sports Awards for December 2025, held at Molecule Restaurant and Bar along Impala Avenue in Kololo.
Two athletes stood out for their stellar performances across different disciplines during the Fortebet Real Star Sports Monthly Awards for December 2025, held at Molecule Restaurant and Bar along Impala Avenue in Kololo. In netball, Shadia Nasanga was recognized after a remarkable year, representing both club and country. She played a key role in the She Cranes' victory at the Celtic Cup in Scotland and helped Uganda secure second place at the African Netball Cup in Malawi, and later led KCCA Netball Club to the National League title.
I'm super excited. I couldn't believe that I was one of the nominees because I didn't see it anywhere, and I'm proud of myself and I'm very happy for it.
In chess, Sana Omprakash made history by becoming the first Ugandan to win a medal at the Africa Youth Chess Championship, a feat that also earned her Woman International Master status in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I'm very happy to receive this award. It's my first time, and I'm also really thankful for the sponsors, and I hope more to come. Yeah.
The Lifetime Achievement Award went to veteran lawn tennis figure John Oduke, who was recognized for decades of contribution as a player, coach and administrator, leaving an indelible mark on Ugandan tennis.
Awards like this should be awarded to people who have really worked hard for the game, either than making it a history. And I'm really very, very happy. And you saw me, I was almost like doing this because those are excitement.
Launched in 2018 at the Fortebet Real Star Monthly Sports Awards, continue to celebrate and promote excellence in Ugandan sport, shining a spotlight on both emerging talent and those who have dedicated their lives to sporting excellence.
And this brings us to the end of our first edition of UBC News Tonight. Do join us for our second edition at 10 o'clock. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. See you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
As we approach the polling day 2026, let us vote for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the NRM flag bearer who has steered infrastructure development, peace, unity, education, health, security, and so much more. Vote Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and all NRM candidates on the 15th of January 2026 to protect the gains achieved and those yet to be attained in the next term. We wish you a peaceful election season.
I'm Dr. Rosemary Nansuga Seninde, the Director, Mobilization for NRM. Fellow Ugandans, our beloved young people, for many years, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has provided our country with a strong foundation of peace, security and stability, the very pillars on which development has grown. Because of peace, through immunization, our children are safe and go to school. Through stability, businesses are thriving. And because of security, Uganda has a future. Let us reject confusion and embrace unity. Let us choose peace over uncertainty. Let us protect our gains and what we have built together and move Uganda forward. It's on 15th January when we are deciding the future of our country. Vote for the bus. Vote for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for a stable and promising Uganda. God bless Uganda.
Electing your leaders at various elective positions is your fundamental human right. Here's how to cast your vote safely and correctly. Step 1. Go to the polling station where you're registered. Step 2. Present your national ID or voter location slip for officials to confirm.